Welcome back to Overruled. My name is Trevor Blanick alongside co-host Jaden Rioch.
Howdy.
And our special guest, Asher Heyer.
Hi.
Drake clapping gif.
Today is Friday, July 12th, 2019. I finally got the date right.
Yeah.
And
what episode is it, Trevor?
Yeah,
We're going to guess 19, but I'm guessing we're wrong. But that's because they were closed last week.
Yeah.
Fight me, Metro.
We're coming back after a week off because no one told us that the office was closed last week. So we'll have 2 episodes next week.
But Cracker Barrel was good. I can't confirm last week.
It was. Cracker Barrel.
Thank you, Metro, for giving us time to go to Cracker Barrel.
Although we probably would have been able to go anyways because, it doesn't close like Cinzetti's.
L at Cinzetti's, even though I love that place.
It's really an L at us, not Cinzetti's, but...
Nah, Cinzetti's is stupid for closing. They'd get more business if they never closed. See, I'm a business guy, Trevor.
I don't know about the cost effectiveness of that, but...
Well, tell them to get it together.
So, I think we might have a few things to talk about in regards to NBA today. My camera isn't working, but you can see Jaden's got on his Draymond Green jersey.
And my Padres hat, because I'm going to get a Padre burger at Brooklyn's.
I'm more so referring to the fact that Draymond Green basketball...
Oh, greatest defender of all time.
You can't see because my camera's broken, but I'm wearing Jamal Murray. We'll get to him in a little bit.
He's not the greatest defender of all time.
He is not. I can confirm. Can we even call him a defender?
He likes running into screens.
I think a lot of the Nuggets like running into screens. That's what we saw from those 2 series. Myers Leonard. I can't remember. Which Spur was doing the illegal?
Or Petal?
It was Pirtle. That's right.
Yeah.
Jakob Pirtle. I've hated him since he went to Utah.
Yeah, he was on the Raptors, and then he got traded, so L at him. That's why he was on the Spurs.
We have a lot to talk about in the sports world.
The Rockets aren't making the playoffs. Boom.
Well, that's wrong.
No, I'm right now.
I think...
I'll send an update on my phone. Rockets not making playoffs. Kind of like I did with the Mets.
You have the... is it for the 29th or the 30th? I don't remember which. It has to be the 29th. Sunday, September 29th. He has an update to congratulate me and the New York Mets on a 72-90 season.
Yep. And so far, it's looking good.
I think when Ben checked it last, they were on pace for a 72-90 season, which is just sad.
Yeah. Thank you, Mets. Thank you for giving me my first fire take. That was correct.
Why can't you ever do anything right?
Because my headphones keep going in and out.
I was referring to the Mets, not you.
Oh, the Mets? Oh, I thought you were talking about my headphones, and I was like, I agree.
Why would we talk about your
Alonso
headphones?
won the Derby. That's something they did right.
Yeah. That
Pretty
was
much the
their
World
Super
Series.
Bowl.
Vlad should have won.
I mean, I mean, you can say what you want about Vlad. He put on an awesome performance, but it's not like Pete Alonso. I saw people in Instagram comments saying Pete Alonso didn't deserve to win because he squeaked by in every round, winning by 1. Well, the rules are set up so he only had to win by 1. He wasn't allowed to hit. I mean, he probably could have if he really wanted, but he didn't have to hit more than just that 1. He probably could have hit 30 in the final round. I mean, it's a shame that Vlad slowed down, but he put in an awesome show. Why can't we just...
Appreciate it for what it is.
Exactly. Appreciate what Vlad Jr. did and still give mad respect to Alonso because he hit 22 in the final round. It's not like he hit... It's not like the 2008 Derby where Hamilton hits 3 in the final round and Morneau hits 5. That's not what this was.
Yeah, I believed in Matt Chapman.
He lost 29-13.
Yeah, he put on an epic show.
I don't think epic's the
Dad
word.
was trying to strike him out the whole time.
I know. Between that slider and that 2-seamer, that was nasty.
And what's funny is when his dad did throw strikes, he didn't swing.
Yeah, he'd just look at him.
It was his first
His dad
Derby.
should be in the majors, let's be honest.
Honestly, he had... Pitching Ninja showed an overlay of his 2 pitches. And
yeah. I was going to say, I don't think anyone could have hit that.
It's a learning experience. And Eric O'Flaherty, I think it was O'Flaherty, a former relief pitcher for the Braves, among other teams.
I just believed in the dad-son combo, and I was
wrong.
wrong.
He said ban dads, which is funny because Bryce's dad won the Derby last year. I mean, dads can throw fine. Like, don't ban dads. It's up to the player to choose. So if the player is dumb enough to pick someone who can't throw strikes, I feel it should be a punishment on them that they have to deal. So don't ban fathers.
Yeah, why would you ban a specific group of people? Like, come on, that's like saying ban former coaches. I mean, that's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
And that's part of the fun too, is like having a dad. That was
Yeah.
the whole hype of that day. You know, a lot of people were talking about how Chapman was bringing his dad because it's cool. It's a family bonding experience. You know, you have your dad out there, and you're hitting home runs. It's kind of neat, actually.
And it's a horrible take because Robinson Cano's dad threw to him in 2011 when he won the Derby.
In Arizona.
Yep. It's a warehouse of a ballpark. Then you've got, obviously, last year with Bryce Harper and his dad. There has been
There should
success.
be Vlad and Vlad Jr.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
I don't think Vlad could throw BP. There's a reason he was DH.
You could throw meatballs.
Yeah, but it's not meatballs. You still have to have a little bit of pace on it.
Yeah.
Although the
not true.
announcers said, I think it was Teixeira. I don't remember if I was watching the ESPN or the StatCast feed. I think at this point it was ESPN. They said that it doesn't matter how fast you're throwing. If you give a major leaguer time to lock on to a speed, they're going to
Yeah,
time
just
it
start
up and still
plowing
hit
it.
homers.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, it's time to compare. What's more impressive? The 2019 performance from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the 2008 performance from Josh Hamilton.
Vlad.
Josh Hamilton, L.
I say Josh Hamilton. Just
Really?
because of the
format?
format.
Okay.
Assume pitches are coming every 5 seconds in this new format. You get 12 pitches per minute, not even including bonus time. And that's 48 pitches. Let's assume, and Vlad did get bonus time every single time. You get another 12 pitches, so you get 60 pitches per round. Well, he hit 29 homers at
So
his
about a
peak,
half.
which means 29 homers. The other 31 weren't homers, and it's not like he was taking pitches. Josh Hamilton had 10 outs to work with, so he had to be perfect. And Vlad never hit one 500. I think that's just what made it so special for Josh Hamilton and just everything, the old Derby format, old Yankee Stadium, and the distance of his home runs just made it so special. Like, you could soak in the moment a little bit more. Like with Vlad Jr.'s rapid fire, bang, 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 bang. And that's what was so fun about it. But you see Josh Hamilton, the guy in his second year off the drugs and all of that, you just see him launch it off the freeze at Yankee Stadium, and the entire stadium erupts. I think that was his second home run. He hit 26 more.
This is true.
And it's also it's so weird to say 11 years ago is a different era, but it is. Players aren't built back then like they are now.
Yeah, they didn't refrigerate the balls as much.
No, if they refrigerated them, there wouldn't be much of an issue.
Well, we need to refrigerate the balls at MLB. Fire take.
I don't know if we talked about it last time, but did we talk about whether we'd prefer low-scoring games to high-scoring games?
We did.
Yeah, I felt like
I would
Yeah, we
prefer
touched
high
on it.
scoring. That's what I said.
I agree. I like high-scoring, but it's just I'm fine with 500-foot home runs. I'm actually okay with that. What I don't like is when you have there's the juiced ball account. I think you showed us, and it's
yeah. I
Christian
followed them
Yelich hitting a literal pop-up to left field that gets out of here, and it's just stupid. It's you see that at Coors Field when it's 107. I don't know if they've ever played when it's 107, but you see that when it's hot outside at Coors. Those pop-ups just seem to go forever, and there's a jet stream out to right center. But at every ballpark, it's just kind of... I don't like it at every ballpark. I think it was MLB 16, the show that had juiced balls in the home run
Yeah.
derby.
Oh my gosh, that was stupid. You get him like 5'10", 5'20". Like, it was stupid.
And it was casual 5'10", 5'20". So the devs actually said, they actually think they ran a poll, do you want us to tone it down to make it more realistic next year? Because, yeah, it's fun to hit 7,000 feet of home runs, but to some extent, when you're hitting everything
when you're hitting
off
everything
the Western
that
Metal
far, it's not
Supply
as
building.
rewarding. Yeah.
Yeah, I played home run derby in MLB 19 last night, and I think I hit one ball into the upper deck and right, and I don't think I hit the scoreboard at all and left. And that's how it should be. It's hard to hit really far home runs, even in a derby.
Yeah, even when they're juiced balls.
Yeah. So I think it is time, and it honestly might take the rest of the show, and for good reason, to talk about NBA free agency.
Basketball.
A little bit happened.
Oh,
'Cause I
we
think-
renewed our season tickets officially. Congratulations to me and Trevor. So we will be Nuggets season tickets holders next year as well.
I totally forgot. We have to really quickly. congratulations to the U.S. women for winning their World Cup.
Oh, yeah, good
Men,
job.
you did a good job. You got screwed by the refs. I mean, it's not the refs' fault
And you
lost,
lost to
but
Mexico. Losers.
but y'all could have gotten a little bit more help when Josie was getting choked. On a side point, Josie, how did you miss that open net? You choked yourself, not the Mexican right there. Anyways, NBA free agency. How about we just start with Clay going to the Warriors, because this is going to be probably the easiest we get.
Fire take. I can't believe he signed a max with the Warriors.
Shocking, I know.
Yeah. Next, Draymond's going to sign a max to stay there.
I hope not.
Yeah. He should be a Nugget, let's be honest.
Yes.
Perfect fit.
If he, I mean, it's a pipe dream because we're all obsessed with Draymond, but he really would be so good on the Nuggets because we need, and that's kind of what Jeremy Grant was, and that's why we're looking into Andre Iguodala. We need a defensive-minded wing.
Well, we need a true defender, someone who can shut down those all-time scoring threats.
And I really wish, if we had Jeremy Grant last year, I definitely think we win the Blazers series because he would be able to at least slow McCollum.
He'd slow down, what was his name?
McCollum?
No, there's another guy.
Derek White?
No, yeah, probably Derek White too, honestly.
Well, how many others were there?
Well, no, I meant in the Portland series. There's that backup who killed us.
Rodney Hood?
Yeah, Rodney Hood.
God.
Literally, if you could even slow him down to 10 points, we win that series.
Well, yeah, because he won Game 3, and if...
He pretty much won all the games. I mean, even in Game 7, he went off.
No, he didn't. He
Yeah, he
hurt
did,
his
didn't
knee
he?
in the third quarter.
Yeah, but
and
didn't he
had to...
put up 17 or points before that?
I don't think so. No one on that team did well except McCollum.
Yeah, well, McCollum carried.
McCollum
Game
had
7.
40. The rest of the team had 60.
Yeah, I'll let Damian Lillard.
I mean,
Can't do
that...
anything.
Could you have imagined the narrative going on with the Blazers and Damian Lillard had they lost that game because of his bad performance?
Yeah.
You have McCollum going off, and this star player can't rescue him?
Well, now you have the stupid memes where it's like, oh, Damian Lillard ended the Thunder dynasty. I'm like, shut up,
I know,
please.
he didn't.
Stop.
It's funny that way, but it's not true.
Yeah.
Even if OKC won that series, I don't think Paul George is there because Kawhi recruited him.
Exactly.
I think it
Yeah,
depends how they do on the next series. If they lose in 7, I think they see it as an opportunity, but because
They don't lose in 7.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I know the Nuggets would beat them, but if they lose or it's even close in the second round, then I think they stay together. But since they lost in the first round, what is that, 4 years in a row, 3 years? They needed to dismantle that team.
It's just kind of weird to think about because you see them in 2016. They had 3 chances to punch their ticket to the NBA Finals. And that was really it. Durant left, and they really I don't think they've made it past the first round since the writing was on the wall. I think Paul George, after 2 first-round exits in a row, is kind of feeling that. He sees Kawhi Leonard go to Los Angeles. He gets the chance to play at Staples in LA with Kawhi, the defending Finals MVP and champion. I still think Paul George goes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. Oh, my gosh. I said it, Trevor. That's one. I said it once. But, yeah, I like the trade. I'm just surprised PG-13 signed with the Thunder to begin with, honestly. It kind of surprised me. I thought he was always going to the Lakers or the Clippers when he first intended to go into free agency, the year before. But, I don't know. It seems a year delayed, which hurts the Clippers and helps the Thunder, so all good.
Wait.
They didn't lose him for nothing. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm really excited for the drafts in the mid-20s in the next decade where it's the Pelicans and Thunder's just trading picks. It'll be 60 picks. The Thunder and Pelicans will have 30
The Pelicans
of them
will
each.
have the first 13, though, because they do better trades.
They just had... I really liked what the Pelicans did. I think we were already able to talk about the AD trade. I'm just trying to think back to the last podcast we had because of the 28th of June.
Yeah, I think we lately went over it, but I don't think there's anything too crazy.
Because free agency hadn't started yet.
Yeah, so it wasn't official, the trade.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. It wasn't official, but we knew kind of the parameters of it.
Mm-hmm.
Little did we know that'd be just the scratching the surface. And how about that Friday night a week ago? Are you kidding me? You get an earthquake at 9, canceling the summer league games. The entire world is talking about the earthquake. 11:55. Yeah, Zion gets hurt in his summer league debut,
And he gets blocked, 2 or 3 times?
I wasn't watching.
Oh, well, he got blocked 2 or 3 times.
3 hours later, right before midnight local here in Denver, we get the news that Kawhi signed with the Clippers, and then obviously a little bit later you hear Paul George has been traded to the Clippers. It broke the internet. Imagine being a Thunder fan, waking up at 3:30 in the morning to get a glass of water, checking your phone, getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah, PG's gone and Russ is next. Oh, bad dream. I'll go back to bed.
Like, oh, I should have never woken up this. I knew I shouldn't have gotten out of bed this morning. Squidward meme. Speaking of which, Bulbul. But that's just like worst case scenario for the Thunder.
Yeah.
They're a good team, and clearly Russ wasn't working. I know we have friends that just are obsessed with Russ.
Facts.
He's a good player, but he's just so inefficient. You don't necessarily want him on your team.
I don't think he works anywhere. I don't think he's going to work in Houston.
I really want that to blow up.
Well, that's why I'm confused why the Rockets got him, because they're all about stats and stuff, and I feel like Russell Westbrook's one of the least efficient players.
Yeah.
So it just kind of confuses me why they did that.
And Harden's not very efficient either.
They have two
Yeah.
ball-centric, inefficient guards
Yeah.
who will put up triple-doubles every game but lose by 30.
Well, and
'cause
who's
they
their
don't-
point guard? I mean, they pretty much have 2 point guards now in a team. So, I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Where do we think Chris Paul goes?
Probably Miami.
Yeah, Miami. But
Yeah.
I don't know who would want Chris Paul. Like,
Well, I was going to say, what do they even give up for Chris Paul? Maybe one
know-
first-round
well,
pick?
I know, I saw that Miami was like, interested in
Give you a
Westbrook,
bag
but
of chips.
who do they have? Who does Miami have that OKC would want? Like, they don't really have, except for Hero.
Well, yeah, they already traded
They don't-
Whiteside, so they,
they
don't
don't
have
have
any
young.
expiring contracts or anyone young.
I think
Yeah.
Hero, but then the Thunder would probably have to package one of their first.
Well, in Hero, I thought they weren't willing to trade him. I know it's up in the air, but that's what I read,
I
is
think-
they weren't willing to trade him.
I think it would obviously depend on the trade.
Dragic.
But
But who wants Dragic?
Dragic in a first? Something like that.
I mean, from a Thunder perspective, I really don't know what the Thunder are going to want. Dragic in a first.
I was going to say that's the most reasonable.
Because you get an expendable player, and you don't have to necessarily lose the trade. Because if you're trading Paul and 1 or 2 firsts, it kind of defeats the purpose of trading Paul, because you're trading him to get firsts. So, I mean, it doesn't really make too much sense to make that trade if you're the Thunder. Where do you think this all started from an Oklahoma City standpoint? Do you think the writing was on the wall and that's why Paul George left? Or do you think subconsciously they kind of knew and that's why they were able to flip Russ so quickly?
I don't think they knew. Like, I don't know. It was just all about Kawhi Leonard, recruiting Paul George.
Well, I read a story that Russ was asking or kind of pondering leaving after they lost this year. Even before Paul George got traded, that's what I heard, is that they were considering trading him, and he was asking more or less to be traded. Not, of course, out loud in the public, but he's like, hey, if you can find a deal, I'd like to be dealt to a championship contender, more or less. So I think the writing was on the wall, and Russ saw it, and the Thunder were just willing to do it because they probably saw the writing on the wall too. You can't win a championship seemingly with Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, and
Or just with
you
Russell
can't even
Westbrook.
make it
He's
past
probably
the
your
first
second or
round with
third.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook is the best player on a team when he's allowed to just take all the shots. We saw that in 2016 when he didn't have, or 2017 when he didn't have Paul, and that was Oklahoma City's, I don't want to say best year. You'll never win a championship with him because he plays his best alone, and him alone isn't good enough to win a championship.
Well, I feel like
which
it's
is
the
what's
narrative,
so funny.
like with LeBron, he needs a bunch of shooters. I almost feel like that's how you have to play with Russ, is just a bunch of catch and shoot
And
players.
OKC didn't have any shooters.
Exactly. And they traded their only one, Victor Oladipo.
Mm-hmm.
And now the Rockets will have one. Well, they'll have 2, but speaking in terms of Russ, he'll have one to pass to because Tucker's gone, right?
Yeah.
Tucker, yeah. PJ Tucker, yeah.
Where did he go, or is he still a free agent?
Let's find out.
Maybe he's on the team. Who knows?
Yeah, well, let's.
I know.
let's find
I know
out.
he was a free agent.
I guess my
He's
thing
still
is,
on the Rockets.
I guess my thing is, I think the Mavericks are better than the Rockets right now. Personally, that's why I said
Eric
the Rockets
Gordon.
wouldn't make it.
Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon.
Oh yeah.
So the Rockets have a good team. I just still don't think they're good. it's so weird to say this, but I really do think they might have taken a step back getting Westbrook. And old takes exposed me all you want, but I'm going to make this vague enough where it's not a full-out old take if it comes back and bites me, but I just don't know about the playing style. Of course they could mesh. They have experience playing against each other, and they went to the NBA Finals together. However, Harden was very young and was not a feature on that team. That was the Westbrook and Durant show. I really think Harden was still coming off the bench, if I'm not mistaken, at that point.
I'm not afraid of old takes exposed. The Rockets won't make the playoffs, and the Mavericks are taking their spot.
Okay, well,
they're going to make the
just
playoffs.
stupid.
Nope.
I don't think.
Nope.
They're not as good as people are going to think they are.
They're probably a 7 seed at best.
Because what made it work so well with Chris Paul and James Harden is you have Paul being able to dish it to Harden and Tucker
I thought
and
at
Gordon
the end I thought he was
on
coming off the
outside.
bench.
Paul?
Yeah. Or was he not?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I thought in the playoffs he was coming off the bench a little bit there.
Well, I mean, maybe a little bit, but...
Well, I mean, I thought the way they had it was alternative. Like, as soon as Harden came in, like, they'd start Harden and Paul, and then they'd bench Paul and let Harden go, and then they'd have Paul go while Harden was off.
Oh, I thought you meant he just wasn't starting the game.
Hey, no, he started, but they were more or less staggering the
That's
two.
what the Nuggets did with Millsap. Millsap was their best player at points during... I mean, honestly, I think Millsap was consistently their second best player in the playoffs. And so what they would do is, because our bench decided they would suck, they would play Millsap with the bench unit, so they'd still be able to utilize Millsap's size advantage and skill against the bench so that we don't get outscored by 15 every time their benches come in. Because we'd outscore their starters by 10, then the benches would come in, we'd be down 5. And that's... You can't have that. So that's why we'd bring in Millsap to kind of stop the bleeding. And we saw that with Will Barton as well. He'd heat up as the games went on in the Blazers series. So guess who was on the floor at the end of the game even though he wasn't starting?
Burton, yeah.
Yeah, so it was really cool to see Moach kind of learn how to coach in the playoffs. We really got to see that in front of our eyes. He had to make some tough decisions. He had to show some tough love to people. But overall, I really think it turned out just about as well as it could given the circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, ideally we would have won the game 7, but I think we don't win the next series, so horse apiece.
I think we give him a fight.
It saved me money.
Yeah, but I would take going to the West Finals. I really think if we had a matchup with Golden State without Durant and Boogie, we would just have matched up well enough where we could have won. And
we would definitely not
could.
get swept.
No.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
I think we would have. It would have been much like that Rockets series where we tied at 2 apiece through 4. And
What goes to 6 or 7?
yeah, well, if it's tied at 4 or tied at 2, it definitely
Tied
goes
at
6.
4?
Tied at 4, we have some. It's something that never happened in
Going
MLB.
to game 11.
The best of 9 World Series.
We'll one-up them. We'll go to 11.
You have to win 6. But
The Raptors would really have the best end of that stick then. Probably would sweep them afterwards because we'd be so tired. Best of 11.
yeah. Oh man,
Rest in peace, Raptors.
I think we also now need to talk about the max for Murray. So Jamal Murray extended out a max for the Denver Nuggets. That actually happened on the first night of free agency.
Yep.
That was cool to see. I mean, you just really felt like that was just such an affirmation in the growth and the faith that the Nuggets have in Murray. And after seeing him in the playoffs, why wouldn't you have that faith? He's shown that Game 1, it broke his heart. And he played fairly well in Game 1. I mean, not great for his standards, but he missed a floater that would have won the game, and then he turned it over on a chance where he could have had a 3.
You know that website I was telling you about, Clutch Points or whatever, Clutch Scores, and it just goes all the way back to 1998. Guess who had the most clutch points in this playoffs?
Probably Murray.
Yeah, it was Jamal Murray.
It's probably a little bit wanky because
Well,
of
I mean,
game
it's a little
2,
bit wanky, but I mean, he has the ability to shoot those shots, and he's fine with shooting
he's
them.
He's not scared.
Yeah.
He doesn't care if he misses. And I know that sounds terrible, but what I mean is he's not afraid to miss.
Well, it's kind of the Kobe gene, more or less. He's willing to take him, and he's willing to take it when he misses.
That's a really good point. He's got that Mamba mentality. He wants the ball at the end of the game, and we don't. What the best scenario at the end of close games is have Murray get you back into the game, and if he can't close it out all the way, give it to Jokic to close it out.
It's incredible we have 2 closers on our team. Most teams are lucky to have 1 closer on their team. We have 2 guys who you could give them the ball. I mean, heck, even 3. Paul Millsap, I mean, I'd be willing to give him on the ball.
He had 2 game-winning shots at minimum, the ones that I can think of off the top of my head against Indiana.
Well, that's why we're such a good
Chicago,
fourth-quarter team. We have a lot of clutch players on our team.
And the reason we missed the playoffs 2 years prior is because we didn't have that fourth-quarter player.
Yeah.
And that's why I really think he's 22. Jamal Murray has a lot of room for growth, and he will never... I don't want to say never, but I really don't think he'll ever be the best player on the Nuggets. That's because he doesn't need to be. He's basically what Russell Westbrook wants to be. And I know that's just so weird because Russell Westbrook has won an MVP, but he's what Russell Westbrook wants to be because he can kind of sit outside and take those threes and not have to carry the team. He's in this spot Russell Westbrook would love to be in, and really, I guess if he's able to take a step back with the Rockets, then he could be in that spot next year. But I just don't see it. Those are 2 players that are just ball hungry, and the team is typically better with the ball in their hands. Well, I don't really think it's going to work like that when you have 2 players the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the one thing about the deal was I was surprised it actually happened because he was because he was a restricted free agent next year. So even if another team offered him a max, we could have matched it. But I like that we did it now to show him the confidence we believe in you for this coming year.
Yeah.
Because I feel like while he's able to make those shots, just like anyone, though, they'd be worried about their next contract year. It's eating on them. You know, you're thinking on it. So I'm just glad we extended it now so he could have all that off his mind and play basketball.
And Ben just said, these are the last 4 messages sent in our tweet chat.
Really?
Will the
Group chat?
Rockets claim the West with their new star player, Tyson Chandler? Then Ben, I like their odds. Blake was clearly satirical, and Ben was not. And I think that's probably what's going to be like for the Rockets. You're either all in or you're all out. You're not really going to sit back and say, oh, they're going to be a 4, but it's either this isn't going to work or this is going to work extremely well. And I just don't.
I do like the Tyson Chandler signing for them, though.
Yeah, actually, I do as well.
I mean, Harden, how many times does he lob it to Capella?
Oh, yeah.
A game. And Chandler's also a alley-oop catcher.
They'll trade for Mason Plumlee.
No. Just because we need... If Plumlee decides to play like he did in the regular season, he's a huge asset. Our entire... No.
Playoff Plumlee was pretty buns, except for, Game 7? I think he played pretty good.
Yeah. His good game
I think he played Game 1 and Game
lost.
7 in Portland. Those were the only 2 games. Past that, he's a fatty L.
Their entire bench was terrible, which is weird because Malik Beasley and Monte Morris... Morris I can understand because his game is just... Well, actually, Morris is the one I could see having the most transferable game to the playoffs because he's just a nice settle-down layups and mid-range.
Well, like we talked about, I feel like it was a little mixture of both. Morris sucked, so Plumlee sucked, and Plumlee sucked because Morris sucked.
They were...
they were a dynamic
the
duo
Murray
together.
And Jokic of the bench. Mm-hmm. I would love to see the points per possession with those 2 per 100.
It was pretty good, I'd imagine.
I'll actually look that up, but y'all can...
It was probably a little
bit
above league average, if I had to guess.
Y'all want to talk about... I'm just trying to think. Any other huge...
Oh, Grant. We traded for Grant.
Yeah. Talk about Jeremy Grant a little. I'll try to find the points per possession. Plumlee and Morris.
Well, we got our forward defender. He's pretty good.
Yeah, can
tall.
guard 1 through 5.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's greatly improved his shooting. Hopefully that carries over the Nuggets.
Yeah, and you said 1 through 5. I'm excited for him. He can even guard the 5th guy, and that's very important. I feel like, defensively, if we can have someone that versatile, it'll definitely help out our team because we're missing that defender. And we saw in the playoffs, too. We just couldn't shut down one player on their team. We have... Gary Harris, who's amazing, and then we have Craig, but it felt like we just needed someone who was better than Craig but had the same defensive ability to start there.
Actually, I love Torrey Craig, and I really think that he'll be the bench forward when Barton's gone, which I really think we could trade him and should.
Bradley Beal. I want Bradley Beal.
No.
I know you want Bradley Beal really bad, but I really like Gary Harris.
Gary Harris is just as good as Bradley Beal.
No,
he isn't, but...
Well,
defensive
Bradley
speaking.
Beal has a usage percentage of 38. Gary Harris has
Bradley
a 28.
Beal's not a bad defender either.
Well, yeah, but Gary Harris is a pretty good defender.
Gary Harris saved us against San Antonio, switching him on to Derek White because Murray couldn't stop.
A pick and roll.
Well, I was going to go a little bit more metaphoric, but yes, literally speaking, he could not stop a pick and roll. In fact, he couldn't stop anything. You couldn't stop a nosebleed. There we go. But this is, I mean, from December 3rd of last year. But this is, Mason Plumlee had like a defensive rating of 95.6.
My hero.
He is amazing. But I can't keep reading through the article. It says they were leading the league, I think, at 2.1 points per 100.
Who?
Morris and Plumlee.
Really?
This was
What?
This was in December, so it slowed down a little bit.
That's really impressive.
But after 2 months of the season,
I thought it was just above league average, like maybe about 1.5.
Through a third of the season, they had a points per possession of 2.1.
That's insane.
That really is crazy. I mean, we knew,
GOAT.
and that's why our team did so well when we had injuries. And I don't think it was a fluke. We have real talent on the bench, but
Well, I feel like that's one of a problem we'll have to address. Not a problem, it's a good problem, but we have so much talent building up. It's like, who do you give minutes to at this point?
everybody.
I mean, you have MPJ coming up, you have Bull. I mean, it's just the allocation of minutes is going to be very difficult for Malone.
And Jared
coming in.
Vanderbilt actually he did well in the game against the Warriors.
Well, and it's dangerous. You look at the Celtics, and that's pretty much what tore them down is the allocation of minutes. Just everyone wanted to play because they knew they could make the East Finals, and it tore them down.
Didn't really tear him down. I mean, we don't really have a Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie
type.
choked against the
Kyrie
Bucks.
was buns. Kyrie is overrated,
Yeah.
sadly.
I mean, everyone thought the Celtics, they took a 1-0 series. They're like, oh. But were the Celtics even close
At Paul
after game
Pierce.
one?
No. I mean, I'd say they're closest. I think they went to Boston and they lost by 5, give or take, 5-10, somewhere in that range. So they had a close game 3, and that was their last fight. After that, they just kind of rolled over.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if Brooklyn is not as good.
I don't think that.
As
Yeah,
a-
I mean, they'll be.
I think Brooklyn will be a finals contender, but I don't think
Not
it'll
this
be an
year.
easy
Well,
they
road.
won't-
Well, no,
look
as
after
soon
what-
as they get KD
The
back.
East
Yeah.
is awful.
Except for Philly.
I mean,
Go Al
Philly's going to be.
Horford.
And Milwaukee.
I mean, I just don't like Philly.
No, I love Al Horford.
Oh, I know
Al
you
Horford,
love
point guard.
I know you played with the Celtics and just kept shooting
Hugged up
threes
threes.
with Horford.
Al Horford, point guard.
And
Al
you said that-
Horford for president.
I don't think he's old enough.
Yeah, he is.
He is?
Probably. Yeah, I thought you had to be 35 for president.
He's seriously 35.
I
know he's been
I mean,
around a
he's pretty
while,
close.
but-
He's old,
Here, I'll look
yeah.
it up.
Yeah, I don't like Joel Embiid. He's a really good player, but he can't stay on the floor.
I don't like his attitude.
It's just
He's so funny.
not a good team in terms
Yeah.
of if you have bigs that can stop. And you saw it with Toronto; they were able to stop. They were able to use their bigs.
No, Al Horford's 33. So he's close.
When does he turn?
Let's see. June 3rd.
So he could run for president next year.
Yep. Because
Al Horford, president.
Al Horford for president. Let's go. Everyone, let's get it going. Let's ask Nathan.
Oh wait, wasn't he born in like the Dominican Republic? Or
Yeah, that's what
something?
it said.
Oh, then he can't.
I know. Very sad.
Darn it.
It's okay.
Oh well. To send him
Al
back to the
Horford, I'm
Dominican.
disappointed. Let's call our representatives and make sure that Al Horford, there's a law made so he can run. I think that's the easiest road.
Call our representative like
Hi,
our
could you
season ticket
change the
representative, or
Constitution?
like season ticket, or Colorado House of
Why not
Representatives.
both?
Because I don't think our season ticket representative can do much
Get the
in
word
terms
around.
of the law.
Get the word around. Just, hey, we need a change to our Constitution so Al Horford, point guard, can run.
I know it's kind of funny, but I think our best bet would actually go on Twitter and try to get Nathan to retweet that because he'd get
At
enough-
least 1,000 people to look at it.
Yeah, exactly. So, free agency. I also want to talk a little bit about the NHL. I know
Ooh, hockey. Oh, we put the money in the graves.
Drake reference, but yeah, Ryan Graves is re-signed with the Avs, but just Artemi Panarin signed a huge deal with the New York Rangers. The Avalanche offered a lot of money, but playing next to a body of water ended up being what Panarin wanted. Who doesn't want to play next to the Hudson River? Is that not exciting? The Hudson, the East. If the water isn't gray, then what's the point in water?
Oh, today's gray day.
I know, Sonny versus John.
Yep. So it makes sense that he'd want to sit next to a gray ocean.
But he's not in Colorado. He's
River.
in New York. But the Avalanche signed Jonas Donskoy. He scored the game winner against... Oh, yeah, it was actually on our last podcast. I got the update that the Avs wanted Donskoy, and we did sign him.
Are you wearing a South Carolina hat?
Yes.
Okay, because I was wondering, because he's wearing an Ohio State hat.
Yeah, you're the weird one wearing a
wait.
baseball hat.
Padres. Yeah, if I would wear a Metro hat, but they don't have baseball hats that are cool for sale. Losers.
They don't have baseball hats at all. They just have like regular adjustable
Stupid.
hats.
Yeah.
Um,
I wish they had
you
their
said
baseball
OH.
hats.
I had a chemistry teacher who's a big fan of Ohio State. He went to Cincinnati, but when we were learning about, I can't remember what they were called, but like hydroxide, which is OH.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
he would not move on until one of us said IO.
In my head, every time my teacher was like OH, in my head I was always IO.
He said, "I'm not."
It's
y'all
like
are gonna
whenever I
learn.
see Metro anywhere.
Yeah, we were going past the Metro Express car wash day on Santa Fe, and he kind of went crazy.
Yeah, everything that says Metro, I think of this school because it is the Metro.
It's a real issue when we get to the NHL All-Star game because of the Metropolitan Division.
Yeah. Or whenever you guys talk about the Penguins or anyone like that, I'm
Well,
just
yeah,
like,
because
just go
that's
the
the
Metro.
same division.
Yeah.
Just going back, we signed. I can't remember the other guy we signed, but Pierre-Edouard Bellemare from the Vegas Golden Knights. We signed him. The Avalanche are just slowly building depth. Oh, I forgot about something.
You traded some people.
Yeah, that's what I forgot. We got Nazem Kadri and some AHL defender for Tyson Berry. I almost said Cruikshank. And you messed me up. Tyson Berry and Alex Kerfoot. Kerfoot's the one I'm going to miss because he really started to play well at the end of the season. I love Berry, but he's a free agent next year and wasn't going to come back.
I love Barry too. Tropical Scene Barry. Storm.
Oh, Tropical Storm Berry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tropical
You said
Storm Berry.
Tropical Scene, and I got...
You did.
Yeah, I know I said scene. I didn't mean to
That's
say
a good
scene.
point. Actually, we're watching a Saints game right now. Keep New Orleans in your mind as Tropical Storm Berry bears down. It might end up being hurricane
Bears.
strength by the time it gets to New Orleans. I mean, I was reading something where it could... The regular storm surge isn't good, but if the Mississippi River floods, it might never go back to what it was, which would like devastate. Like it would break New Orleans. It would break the back of this country. So, let's go
Wait,
climate
what's up with
change.
the Mississippi?
If it floods, because it runs through New Orleans and feeds into the Gulf.
So would it like just
If
shoot
it-
water up?
Well,
The Mississippi?
It rises and then overflows. But if that happens, if you have a river surge instead of just a storm surge from the ocean, you might never get the Mississippi back to the level it was, and the flooding would like break the back of America because the Mississippi River is kind of important.
Yeah. MISSISSIPPI.
Yeah, good job, Jaden. But
I learned that at such a young age. I'm proud.
again, congrats.
Well, I was just sending my condolences by spelling Mississippi.
Weather here, it's we're in that I want to die time of the year in Colorado where it's mid-90s every single day for a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird. This is our first. Yeah, that was an annoying noise.
Wave.
An annoying stretch of just weather in the 90s over and over and over. It's just kind of degrading to go outside and it's just ridiculously hot.
Well, I'm going to Phoenix on Sunday.
Well, just
That'll
don't
be
go.
fun.
And I'm looking at the highs: 111, 111, 114, 113.
Well, you can participate in the
108.
heat stroke challenge with Trevor.
Well, I got lucky. It was 100 when I did it. It was 100 every day when I was there.
Okay.
I mean, it's so weird to say we got a cold week in Phoenix and it was 100 every day.
Yeah, I'd die.
Because this is what it's typically like. And honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if it's a little bit cool for the time of year. Like 110, I should say. Because 115 seems to be around their average.
Watch
Yeah.
out for earthquakes.
Now,
Really?
you could feel it a little in Arizona, but
Mhm.
it was mostly
Las
out
Vegas
in
and Los
Vegas.
Angeles.
And
Yeah.
I mean, well, it was in L.A. or not L.A. It was just a little bit north
Yeah,
of
it's
L.A.
Ridgegate. Yeah.
Ridgegate, not the one in Parker or
Yeah,
Lone
we
Tree,
didn't
I
feel any
guess.
here, so.
Yeah, we didn't.
My
feel it
TV
here.
did not shake, ladies and gents.
Yeah, my cousin lives in, I think it's Santiago. I don't even know where she lives. I just know she lives in
Let's go
California.
San Diego.
And
The Padres.
her stuff was starting to fall off her walls.
Wow. Well, Alex's couch started shaking, so sucks for him.
Yeah, the scoreboard at the Thomas and Mack Center started shaking the speakers. That's why they had to cancel the games. The Cox Pavilion was fine.
Yeah, and then they're not going to reschedule that Nuggets game. Big mad.
It doesn't matter.
We're playing Saturday though. I think that's our last game.
Then the tournament.
Oh, is
Oh
there
yeah, we
another?
have yeah.
There's always a tournament
Yeah,
in
with all the
summer
teams.
league.
Okay. And hopefully,
Team China's involved.
hopefully
Vlatko
Porter
Chanchar.
plays.
I think that actually be a really good, because you're not committed to playing it. Because let's say Porter plays one of these, like, one of the regular Summer League games, I should say. You don't feel committed to playing, and you would feel committed to play in the rest, but if you play in one tournament game, and you get eliminated, you get that tune-up, you get to see Porter in action, you get game action, but Chanchar, there's a lot of hype for Chanchar.
Hockey player?
No.
Nuggets.
Oh, he sounds like a hockey player.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What about Doncic? Does that sound like a hockey player?
No, he sounds like a Dallas Mavericks player.
Flawed logic, but I digress. Yeah, I honestly watched.
Doncic honestly sounds like a soccer player. I'm sorry. Like, I know I interrupted you, but like
30
Modric,
seconds.
Doncic, like.
Luka Modric.
Oh. Stupid. At me.
He's
Neymar.
Who does Luka Modric? Oh, he was Madrid.
Yeah.
He's Czech.
And then there's Cruz as well on.
He's
Madrid.
Czech Republic, and he plays for Madrid. That's right. This is my FIFA knowledge.
Wait, I thought he was on Croatia.
Oh, Croatia, not the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I knew it was Croatia,
It's
but
like I know he
got them
won
in
the
Czech
Golden
Republic.
Boot. I was like, I thought he made it into the
Yeah,
final.
Luka Modric. That's right, Croatia. I got those confused. The European countries over there.
Yeah, they're all humble jumbled. Who knows? Isn't Serbia in there somewhere?
Yes, and Jokic should play for their national
I
soccer
don't know,
team.
where is Serbia? Is it next to Russia?
It
Or is it
sounds
It's
like
a neighbor somewhere.
like Kazakhstan, Serbia. I think
Yeah.
Georgia's probably near there as well.
Czech Republic, kind of Turkey.
Yeah, you have like the Germanys, the Polands, the Western Europes. Then you get Eastern Europes, and you get the Czech Republic. I'm assuming Croatia's Eastern Europe. You got Russia.
Romania.
Yeah, those types of countries. I guess Russia is both Asia and Europe, but the majority
it's
of
more
Russia
Europe.
is.
Yeah, it's more Europe.
The more important parts of Europe. Like, pretty much everything on the Asian side is pretty much like ice and, like, no peoples.
I did not know that. So then why don't we just.
Because
Like-
Moscow's pretty much on, like, the east side, so they kind of consider that more Europe.
So it's on the east side of the Europe part?
Or west, whatever. Like, the side that... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the east side of Europe. Because that's where it cuts off on a map. Like, if you look, it kind of it cuts off more or less at Moscow there for the east part.
That makes sense. Because then the further.
Because I'd imagine that includes Moscow, St. Petersburg, like all the main ones
Well,
there.
yeah.
So that's why they would consider it Europe.
And then Asia's kind of just a bunch of ice.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just a bunch of people, like, with their old hats, their fur hats, and just walking around going, there's no land here.
But
There's
they're
no
on
good
land.
farming, people. No good farming.
Our Russian correspondent, Jaden.
You're welcome. It's pretty much Alaska.
It's Alaska with Moscow.
Alaska
on the
not
west.
as cool.
Man,
They also speak different language.
it's true.
They do.
Yeah, they speak Russian.
Oh yeah, that's right. Russian is a language. Well, I just know it's like Brazil speaks Portuguese.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, but that's because they conquered Brazil. Hell at Brazil.
Did Spain conquer Mexico?
Yeah.
Does Asian Russia speak the same as European Russia?
I'd imagine
Language?
that the southern portions probably speak a little bit of more. What's the other country above it? It's like Kashmir or something like that. So I'd imagine they probably speak that language a little bit, but most of it's probably Russian, to be honest with you.
That'd be cool if there's just like a cutoff for languages.
Yeah, you can only speak this here.
Like your language box stops working once you move to different countries.
That'd be pretty controversial for America.
Like we all.
No more Spanish people.
Wow. No. Like I mean, it's like something in you.
Oh, really?
So there's.
Oh, you're
you
just programmed.
Like you're programmed. Like as soon as you enter America, you speak English. As soon as you go to Brazil, you speak Portuguese. Like you go to German, you speak Deutschland.
Oh, yeah. Nine. Nine means no. Ashtali Faloifa, people.
What?
It just means cabbage burger.
Thank you for not never minding me.
Anytime. So anyways, continuing to whatever we're talking about, how's hockey doing?
Well, it's July, so you know.
Oh, the ice is melted. Haha.
It actually has. They break apart the ice at Pepsi Center.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, they're losers. In international news, Griezmann's going to Barcelona. At least that's where he's planning on going.
That's right. I saw that. I woke up to
so
that.
eventually he'll go to the MLS, but a pit stop on the way is Barcelona.
And Federer beat Nadal to make Wimbledon final.
Oh, he did.
Pat tennis.
Who's he going against? Djokovic?
I don't even know.
Probably.
Jokic.
Oh, yeah, Djokovic, yeah.
Jokic.
Is it Djokovic or just Jokovic?
It's Djokovic. Wait. Now I'm getting mixed up with Jokic.
Because I said Jokic.
They're both from Serbia. Jokic.
Ooh.
Jokovic.
Maybe they're buds.
It's Djokovic. Yeah.
Let's see, maybe our giant Serbian. I saw something comparing millionaires in 100 years ago to millionaires now, and it's a picture of a guy with a...
Yeah, I shared that. The glass eye.
It's not a... It's a
little
spectacle.
circle thing, yeah.
A spectacle, and then
Uncool
the beard,
glasses.
and then it's Jokic in a t-shirt and shorts at a horse track.
Yeah.
That's our Serbian.
Our true hero.
Dwight Gooden arrested last month on suspicion of cocaine possession. What is this, 1986?
How disappointing.
Former Met Dwight Gooden.
Oh, I thought you meant that guy from The Office.
Dwight Schrute. That would be Rainn Wilson. He was actually in 6 Feet Under, the show I'm watching. He actually played the character very well, and it's in the years. I think he actually might have. I'm almost wondering if he was written out of the show because The Office started.
Really?
Because he was in it in 2003, and that's the year The Office started.
Oof. So he had to make business decision.
Well, it wasn't a business decision. He wasn't starring in 6 Feet Under.
Because he's 6 feet under.
No, he is not dead. But he plays the character. I mean, it's almost like a pit stop to Dwight Schrute. It is. I was watching it and I was shook how much like Dwight he was in that show. Because in real life he isn't. Rainn Wilson's just he has a giant beard. I mean, he's not Dwight in real life. I mean, some actors actually are kind of like their characters. I know Jim Parsons is very similar to Sheldon.
Imagine
Michael
Ted
C.
Cruz.
Hall is actually very similar to Dexter, at least what I've seen of him in interviews and stuff, at least his cadences and stuff. But Rainn Wilson is not like Dwight. So that's why. Oh yeah, Kaylee Cuoco appears very similar to Penny.
I don't watch any of The Office. I've watched like maybe 2 episodes or something.
I mean,
I've only watched 2 TV shows:
which ones?
Breaking Bad and
Okay.
Stranger
First one's
Things.
a dub.
I've never
Second
watched
one I've never
Stranger
seen. Yeah, I've
Things,
never
but I've
seen
watched
Stranger
Breaking
Things.
Bad.
Really?
I've heard it's
Stranger
pretty good.
Things? It is.
Rick and Morty's a good show, peeps.
I like Archer. Archer's just a fun show because it's like you're taught that
Even I meme it. And I don't
he
watch
does.
it.
He does.
Well, it's because you told me it enough.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You're told you kind of learn that cartoons are just for kids. You shouldn't watch Archer then, if that's your mindset, or maybe you should. But
Break the stereotype.
oh yeah, it definitely breaks the stereotype. But no, I just like shows like that because I just hate shows that have this superhero aspect because it's just not realistic to me. I just don't like that stuff. But you have Archer and it's a cartoon and you have them doing things that could never work in real life. And that's what's funny to me. Is because it's cartoons, so it works, and there's just so much satire in it. Have we really missed any big... Oh, yeah, Jimmy Butler to Miami.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say, actually, once you were done with that. Yeah, Jimmy Butler is now Wade. So that's
Wade.
D-Wade. D-Wade. Do-Wade.
Stop.
D-Wade.
Are we done now?
No. D-Wade.
All right. So
He's on the cover of NBA 2K20, Legacy Edition,
Yeah.
D-Wade.
I hate that Anthony Davis is on 2K.
Davids.
Although it keeps up with their tradition of... What'd you say?
Anthony Davids.
Oh, Anthony Davis. Oh, of course. I could never forget that.
Is Draymond the only one he hasn't purposefully misspelled yet?
I'd imagine he probably has
know.
at some point, to be honest.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
His random hiatus from Twitter.
I always love how he makes fun of you whenever you talk about Jokic.
Shut up, Jokic. You have a
Yeah.
game to play.
I love that response so much.
That Twitter sometimes makes me happy. Oh, and then it went down for 58 minutes yesterday. My friend was convinced it went down for 3 hours.
I thought I got like suspended or something.
Yeah,
Really?
You and I. That was
like,
our first thing.
I was like, of course, right as I'm talking to you about like coming to the podcast, I'm like, I really just got suspended when I'm done.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had no clue. I wasn't even on Twitter yesterday, so everyone started complaining about Twitter being down. I was like, wait, what happened? So what, you guys just couldn't get into Twitter?
Yeah.
And we could get into it, but it just wasn't loading.
It wasn't loading.
Like
so
none
I
of the
signed
direct
out.
messages and stuff.
I signed out, and then I couldn't get back in. And then
Yeah, I was gonna say every time like Ben kept saying it was down, I looked and I was like, it's fine for me. So
Yeah, and then he freaked out because he was on AT&T and it wasn't working for him, and he said, "Oh my God, Twitter's down again!" And I went on Twitter. I'm like, "No, it's not. You're just on cellular." So.
Yeah, he loves Twitter just a little too much.
And I thought I was addicted to Twitter. I really use it, but
Well, to be that flipped out over it, it's kind of stupid.
I wouldn't care. I'd turn on HBO and watch 6 Feet Under.
Well, exactly. I'd just turn on Madden.
Exactly.
Try and trade away a whole team.
And I know it's like, oh, we're replacing social media with other video games and stuff. Well,
That's the modern era, people. Shut up.
It is the modern era. Get used to it. And I know you have these old baby boomers saying, oh, well, I remember I was actually at a movie with my dad, and I was playing on my PSP before it started, and you could hear this old lady behind us saying, look at that. He needs to let his kids have video games to keep them quiet. That never happened. And you know what? That really struck me. And if I was older, I probably would have said something. But, I mean, then again, if I was older, I probably wouldn't be playing PSP. I think there's always that regression stage where as you get older, you start playing old stuff again. PSP is always fun because you have Grand Theft Auto on it. But,
yeah, PS2's the GOAT.
Yeah, PS2, if you still have it and it works, is awesome.
Yeah, although I heard the PS5 supposedly is supposed to have backwards
compatibility, and that'll be awesome because
I can't wait because I'll buy all the PS2 games. Honestly, that was pretty.
Well, they're
amazing.
they're remastering.
Well, the
I'll
problem
be able to
with
play.
like remastered though, well, I guess there isn't really a problem with them. Yeah. Well, I guess it's just more money. Like you can just buy a PS2 game for like a couple bucks. Like, but a remastered is like $40.
Yeah, because it's remastered.
Well, that's stupid. I'm not paying $40.
Just going back to what I was talking about, it's just that's the era. If we're quiet and happy playing our video games, then what does it matter to her if we're on our games before the movie starts?
As long as you're not fighting her.
It's 2010. Stop being an old lady and understand that, you know what? This is how the world is going to be. It has nothing to do with how we were raised. Back then, you probably had books to read. Do you think that the old people... I was about to say that the old people that didn't have books, but books have been around for a while, so that probably was never a thing, but...
Well, I mean, it's one of those things, instead of, getting an actual, newspaper, I will read it on my phone. So what? Nice drink, by the way.
What?
I said nice drink, by the way.
Yeah,
I know
because you
said it again.
Yeah,
I am aware.
But
hey, look at the bright side. I've only said it like 3 times this podcast.
Yeah,
I've gotten better. I've gotten better, ladies and gents.
Better.
Thank you. I'm not going to kill Trevor.
You
said that drinking game.
The drinking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dalton and I want to play a drinking game where every time you
listen to the podcast and every time you take a drink. And like I said,
we would die.
I'm not trying to
in the earlier episodes, we would have died.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty bad.
No, I did the Alex Morgan tea. I didn't do a shot.
Oh, good job. At least it's tea, not alcohol.
Blunt.
Oh, blunt. Whoa, someone's getting a little bit over there. Calm down.
I don't know.
I think the pinky should have been a fairly blatant giveaway because I was watching on my giant projector screen, flex, with my sisters, and I saw Alex Morgan do that, and I started laughing hysterically because I knew exactly what she did. You're playing England. Have a sense of situational awareness, people. It's not a blunt. It's pretty clear that it's with the pinky up, tilting her head back. Why would you tilt your head back to smoke a blunt? Why? That makes no sense to me.
You could be eating a sandwich.
And again, why would you have your pinky up? So
because your pinky fell off the sandwich.
Moving on. I just think that's so cool that the United States were able to win the World Cup. And
congratulations, by the way. I didn't say my congratulations.
Congratulations
Good job,
to Lindsey Horan and Mal Pugh of Colorado.
Fatty dub.
Mal Pugh of Highlands Ranch, and then I think Lindsey Horan is of Golden. I think she went to Golden High School, which is where my mom went, and then Pugh went to Vista, which it doesn't matter. I don't have a camera. I hate Vista. If you couldn't tell, I did not go there.
Douglas County wasn't good enough to compete with them, but I still don't like them.
Yeah, and Vista won the state championship, and Mal Pugh didn't play because the women's national team had an issue if she got hurt playing for Vista. My dream is my sister gets good enough. I mean, she's good, but I don't know if she's good enough to make the women's national team. But if she gets on the women's national team, it'd be Thunder Ridge and Mountain Vista on the same team. My ultimate goal would to be to announce one of their games.
That'd be cool. Highlands Ranch, Highlands Ranch, Highlands Ranch.
Exactly. It'd be the Colorado Connection. I mean, technically that'd be Horan to Pugh.
The
but
Rainbow Connection.
I don't think Horan plays forward, and I think Pew plays forward. I'm not sure, but I know my sister would play forward. She'd either play wing or forward.
My Kermit the Frog joke went over your head.
Yeah, I heard it. I just don't care.
He probably didn't get it. Did you get it?
No,
I heard
I
rainbow,
don't
rainbow,
know.
rainbow.
No, I said
So-
Rainbow Connection because Kermit sings that song.
Yeah, I know. Why would it be the Rainbow Connection?
That's what he says in the song.
I know, but why did you say the Rainbow Connection?
Because you
for
said the
this?
Highlands Ranch Connection.
Yes,
And
but
then I said the Rainbow Connection. It's okay. Don't Kermit suicide because of my jokes, Trevor.
I don't even know. I don't even know where to start. That was just weird. Santa
So, yeah.
Fe.
If Griezmann goes to Barcelona, I'm going to be sad because that means Philip Coutinho is going to go somewhere else, and I have no clue where he's going to go. Hopefully to Chelsea, but Chelsea probably doesn't need him.
You guys have like a favorite team in the Premier League? I mean, I could
Chelsea.
care less about.
Yeah, I think both of ours is
Premier League.
Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't follow Chelsea too much. I kind of know what's going on, but it's
Yeah.
definitely Chelsea.
My problem is I can't watch it because it's at like 7 a.m. and I'm like, I'm sorry, I love soccer, but like, no.
I wouldn't even wake up to watch a Rockies game if they started at 7.
The only time I woke up that early was when I accidentally was awake for Russia versus USA.
That wasn't accidental. We purposefully planned that.
Oh, well, it wasn't accidental. There you go.
Because I remember we set our alarms so we could watch, and I'm almost certain we fell asleep after the
Yeah.
game was over.
Mhm.
But
That was the only game I've ever remembered waking up for in specific.
I know,
mean,
I
think
woke
the
up-
only other game I woke up for like earlier than typical was for the Colts versus Jacksonville when they played in London, and then they got their butts handed to them by Blake Bortles, the GOAT.
I woke up, I mean, it's going to sound pathetic early, but 8:30. I mean, when you can't sleep, 8:30 is legitimately early for you.
Yeah, sure.
I woke up at 8:30 to watch the Gold Cup, or not the Gold Cup, the World Cup final.
Oh yeah, I was at work, so I was just watching it on my phone there. Hey, go into the back room, turn on the video, and
Oh yeah,
Do
you have
work.
TVs in the back rooms.
yeah.
At Dick's, they just have TVs on the floor, so.
Yeah, and then they took away our cable. I wonder why. At people who watch football and don't work.
Where do you work?
Walmart. They
Oh,
big
no.
stupid.
Big L at Jaden.
Yeah.
Because now he can't even call out or he loses his bonus, so he
Yep.
couldn't come paintballing with us tomorrow.
Stupid Walmart.
Big L.
Big L. Big iron, big L.
But you'll start your internship soon, so you can hand Walmart the L.
Yeah. Go and work for the government, and I'm going to make sure we get Walmart out of the country. I'm just kidding. I love you, Walmart. Please pay me.
Just for the next month. I love you, Walmart.
Love you, Walmart. Don't fire me. I
Yeah,
love
it's-
you a lot.
Getting fired isn't that big of a deal.
But I like my
especially when they
bonus.
hire you back.
I like my bonus, okay? $200 is significant.
I know, that's a huge bonus, and
For
I
no
can't believe
reason.
you lose that for.
Yeah, for calling out once. And well, actually, the thing is, and the stupid thing is, if you don't call up at all, you actually get 110% of that bonus. If you call out once, you lose that bonus. So you get more of the bonus if you don't call out, but if
you
you
lose
call out,
all
you
of
lose
it if you
all of
call
it.
out.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
I
it
just-
makes no sense. So, Walmart's big stupid.
Dick's is nice. I mean, assuming they get your schedules right and all that, because that's why I was going to leave last year, just because there was.
Work and school.
I mean, I was fine working and school, but
And Nuggets games.
yeah, Nuggets games was fine because like the Saturday nights I had it scheduled so 6 was the latest I could work, and for whatever reason I'd always be scheduled to. No, I would get off at 6.
Do you think we're going to be on an ABC game next year, the Nuggets? Just a weekend game? I hope. That'd be
Probably.
cool. Or maybe a Christmas game. That'd be so cool.
They're
Yeah,
not
I would
gonna
have
put
to
us-
tell. Well, I don't know. Would I go to a Christmas game? I really don't know.
I'd go.
You're gonna have the Knicks on Christmas.
They're gonna have the Knicks in the Bulls.
And we're going to play at
Yeah.
9 o'clock on Christmas.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, that's. No, it would be 9 Pacific.
Because didn't we
so-
play the Clippers one time on Christmas, like really late in the
It
day?
was 8:30,
Yeah.
which is what national games are.
Okay.
The
Well, I mean,
only
Christmas, it kind of changes. I feel like the earlier it is, it's kind of like a weekend day. Like where one is more prime time. Kind of like a football game.
well, it is. That's why one is at ABC.
So
They have
let's
a-
play on ABC.
They have like a 10 a.m. game here, which is ESPN, and then they have the marquee matchups at like 1 and 4 on ABC.
and then they go back to E ESPN.
They have 5 games. The early and late games are ESPN, but like the 1, 4, and 7 are all ABC.
Nikola Jokic on ABC.
He was on ABC and lost.
Well, take him off ABC.
They did.
Ow, my foot. Sorry, I kicked the table.
And so,
Is there anything you would like to add? Okay. No, I was just wondering if like there's anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about, or
we could talk a little about the MLB All-Star Game.
baseball.
I don't really watch it. I watched
one at bat.
Arenado fly out to Trout. That was it.
Was it a routine or did he
Yeah, it was
hit it
routine.
well?
Yeah, we were playing softball.
I watched one at bat the entire
Charlie
All-Star
Blackman
game.
hitting that home run.
Because I played 3 games of softball, and in between the second and third, I mean, I hurt
We
my
did.
ankle in between the second. You played 3, I played 2, and then hurt my ankle, so I sat out the third.
Rip Achilles. Your KD's hurt.
Well, because what happened is
KD's a big baby.
I'm catching,
Draymond scene.
and the throw from the outfield went up the line a little bit, and the runner was too close to me for me to go behind him or to go in front and try to cut it off. And so, I mean, we collided. I mean, I don't. You probably had a better view than me because I was.
Well,
in
yeah,
it.
you went for the ball and then you
Well, I
hit
know
him.
I was in it, but was it a hard collision? I really don't remember it.
I mean, he ran into you, so I mean,
Like I don't
it was
remember if
above
it was
average.
just.
I mean, it wasn't like you guys walked into each other. He was running and you were trying to get the ball. So yeah, I collided a bit harder.
And then when I tried to get the ball,
And
he
then he
was
ran
getting
into you
up, and
again.
then he ran into me again. And I really don't know where in this sequence my Achilles got hurt, but Ben was
your
yelling from the
glasses broke,
outfield.
too.
They didn't break; they're fine. Just
Oh.
the side.
Good job, glasses. Way to stay together.
The piece that goes over the ear just popped out of place. I was able to put it back in the dugout, but
Yeah, from the outfield, it totally looked vicious, that second hit, honestly.
I wouldn't know. I mean, the umpire said it just looked like he was he just got up and lost his balance, but I obviously didn't know.
Okay, I could see that. But
So
it kind of,
y'all
I
went-
guess the balance, that makes a lot more sense because it kind of almost looked like he leaned into you. So maybe that's when he lost his balance.
And that would make. I mean, I didn't have an issue with it.
Okay.
I just said
Well, it was just
I'm
one of those
glad
things. As
someone
soon
didn't-
as we found out that you didn't have an issue with it, we're like, fine. But like, if you would have had an issue with it, we probably would have ran in and been like, hey, not cool, bro.
Well, Ben would have ran.
Oh, yeah,
it
I
would have been
would've
over by
lightly
the time
jogged.
you would have gotten
Yeah, it'd
into
be like,
the
hey,
infield.
boys, can you like slow down?
Could you please wait? And then Dalton, you and Dalton both cut your knees up sliding.
Yeah.
And
that
then
was fun.
Dalton sprained his ankle going to first to tag the bag.
Yeah.
Then
he
I hurt
fell
my Achilles.
hard.
No, that's not the issue. He fell because he twisted
Well,
his
no,
ankle.
I saw. Yeah, he rolled his ankle and then he fell and then he scraped up his knee. But oof, that was big.
Yeah, but then
You
and
beat him to
everyone's
the bag,
asking,
though.
Trevor, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. And then I lean over to pick up a ball. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not fine.
Yeah, he got plowed.
It was weird because I just can't think of a reason why my Achilles, of all things, would hurt after that.
Yeah, we got blown out in basketball, so we need you. You said you play basketball, so as soon as you turn 18, we need you on our league because we.
Yes,
suck.
because
I
Ryan
just
Good is
turned
18.
Hey, yes, he is.
I don't think
Hey,
South
if they're
Suburban's
listening,
listening.
we gotta protect their butt, Trevor. Okay?
Why would South Suburban listen?
Because they're big, stupid, and have nothing else to do. Look, the government's listening. That means they're listening.
Why
in
would
a
the
roundabout.
government listen?
Because they want to track us, Trevor. We're part of a university. Come on.
That's actually a fair point.
Come on. I want to make sure we're not trying to overthrow the government. It's not like I'm sitting here like, ladies and gentlemen, August 10th, make sure to run into Area 51.
Is it actually scheduled for August 10th?
I think it's August 10th.
Are they actually gonna do that?
Yeah,
I really
did you?
hope not.
I mean, there's a lot of people who are doing it.
I
It
hope
sounds
they
like
do. It's gonna be
250,000 petition. You know, Alex said he'd go if a bunch of people go.
Okay,
And
I know
his
there
excuse
was
was if they can't kill all of us. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I don't know about that one.
all right. But what's really scary is let's say that these 250,000 people can find a way to get weapons. This would be like
Well, that's what I'm
there would
saying.
be over 100,000 people killed.
Well, it's almost like the French Revolution where they stormed the Bastille. Same idea, where like just a bunch of people are running towards a base.
Like if they all have weapons, they would succeed. Although, does this count as treason if they do that?
Yeah, it's like, is
I
this
mean, it would
like a
have to
civil
count it-
war? Like, what's
I
going
mean,
on?
seriously, I mean, this is 2019 in America. It's sad we actually have to have a real
jokingly-
conversation about this.
We're jokingly trying to start a civil war.
It's-
Hey, you
the-
guys, let's go storm Area 51. 250? All right, we can do this, boys.
I mean, really, if they get 300,000 people, and even if all of them have like handguns,
Well,
they
even-
probably could be able to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if they open fire, I mean, I don't think they can really open fire and kill 300,000 people, especially if they storm the base, like, all around. They big dunzo, unless they
And-
unleash the aliens.
And I don't think there's 150,000, or I don't think there's enough people at Area 51.
Well, how do I say it? Even if there's 20,000 people, that's pretty bad. Like, if you, because for safety, you have to shoot these people because they're storming your base. I mean, if 20,000 people die, I mean, big oof.
But I'm just speaking in terms of the government, because these are obviously soldiers and they're going to have machine guns.
I don't even know how you plan
but
for that.
I
Like, what do
don't
you
think-
do?
I mean, quite honestly, you just spray and pray.
Yeah.
That's how you would do it if you're on the government side of things, because these people running are
When
just too
memes
stupid.
turn deadly.
Honestly, it's the meme at Walmart where it said, let's rob a Walmart. They can't stop all of us.
Oh my gosh, it's evolved into taking over military bases now. Hey, you guys, let's go storm the White House. Let's get everyone going, and we'll elect a president there. Let's storm it. Let's do it, boys.
I took a selfie outside the White House.
Yeah, me too. I actually saw the White House dog at the time. It was Bobo, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very cool.
But
He was going on his walk.
that meme of the Dallas Cowboys fans running into AT&T Stadium for the standing room only game.
Yeah.
It said the 250,000 people running into Area 51 be like.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there's a bunch of good memes on that, honestly.
Yeah, good memes are just broken society. Yes.
Maybe with the Rockies starting tonight, we should talk about like what they should do to
Oh, gray versus gray.
be good. Yeah.
The battle of the gray.
So we definitely need to trade for at minimum a lefty reliever.
Mm-hmm. Will Smith.
I would love Will Smith. I don't in general like
trade for
trading.
Gene.
First person to act in a movie and be in an All-Star game.
Yeah.
There's
I want the
3
Genie.
Will Smiths.
I want
That
Genie.
random white dude from the Dodgers, the good pitcher for the Giants, and then the actor.
I bet there's a lot more Will Smiths, but those are the only 3 that are significant in our society.
Basically, yeah.
The Will Smith that's Genie is the GOAT. Yeah, let's look. I'm going to look up Will Smith and see how many I can get. Oh, I accidentally typed in Will Smooth. It's still
Smooth.
autocorrected to Will Smith.
Waiting on a noob.
Will
Noob
Smith.
move.
Oh my gosh, show me the other Will Smiths. Well, this Will Smith's being a jerk and showing up everything. What a mean.
Can we talk about the Rockies now?
Okay. Will Smith.
I think, yeah, Will Smith would definitely be a great piece for the Rockies. I don't think they trade for their offense. The offense has shown at times that they're perfectly capable. And we just signed Yonder Alonso, who, by the way, hit me a home run in Arizona. And Jaden wasn't there to see it.
Yeah, I was walking, getting hit by a foul ball.
He got hit by a foul ball as he was walking over. I mean, not hit by it, but...
Yeah,
we
it
need a
almost hit me.
starter. I know Freeland is coming up to make his
Yeah, I
to play again.
don't want to trade for a starter just because it just... You'd have to, in theory, give up more for a starter. I was looking at trades. Brendan Rodgers and Raimel Tapia and maybe someone else for Noah Syndergaard and Edwin Diaz.
Oof.
And then you would trade, I don't remember the other trade, but you would trade someone for Jose Abreu.
That's fun.
Where would Abreu play though? Like, would Murphy go to second, Abreu to first?
Oh yeah, I think you would trade Ryan. No, you would make it so. I don't remember the trades what
and
they
that's
were.
a terrible right side of the infield.
It's a horrible right side of the infield, because Murphy. Bless you. Don't sneeze into the mic.
Oh, I sneezed into the window.
I know, but it was still quite loud.
Oh, really?
Yes.
God bless me.
Alrighty then. No, I think the Rockies, they're 44 and 45. They've never made the playoffs when they're below 500 at the All-Star break.
Oof.
44 and 45 is not an issue to me. If they don't make the playoffs, it's not because they're one game under at the All-Star break. It's because they're glaring issues. They're maybe, a game and a half out of the wild card?
No,
2 at most?
I looked.
I thought it was like 3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3.
It's 3?
Yeah, Philly
me
went
see.
bye-bye.
No, I mean, so Philly's 3 ahead of them?
Last
It
time I checked,
is-
I don't
we
know.
are 2.5
2.5?
back.
Okay.
St. Louis, San Diego, Arizona, Milwaukee, all ahead of us.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm not particularly worried about 2 or 3, maybe
No,
even
San
4 of
Diego's
those
a cool
teams.
guy.
I'm not in on San Diego.
Go Tatis.
I'm not buying in on San Diego.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah.
either. Maybe
What?
next year, but not
Wait,
this year.
since when are the Nationals 5 games over 500?
Yeah,
Since they
that's,
started
isn't that
winning.
kind of weird?
Because Bryce Harper's gone, that's why.
They were so bad though. Like
I know, and now all of a sudden they're one of the best teams in baseball. Surprise me.
they're not even.
Whoa!
I didn't say it
I heard it.
because I didn't say it. I
Well, I
said,
filled it in, and that's not okay.
well, what?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you hear a bleep in a Drake song. It's like, I know exactly what Drake said.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't hiding. I can tell you who said it. It's James Dokes from Dexter, but
Drake.
no, not Drake. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
How long are we going right now?
Hour 10.
Hour 10? Okay, I wasn't sure.
We're at 69 minutes now.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, we've hit the nice time.
I am not concerned about the Rockies more than my general concern with them, which is just at like a base. I'm always
Yankees are
concerned
doing
with
good.
the stupid Rockies. But even when the Rockies were winning last year, it just kind of felt like they were
Yeah.
going to mess it up. Just
Because
because
their offense was so bad.
That's what's so funny is everyone says, "Oh, the Rockies, it's their pitching, or now it's their offense is so good, you just know they're gonna hit," and blah 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 blah. Shut up.
I remember my criticism of the Rockies being blah, blah, blah. It was such a good criticism. I probably just got muted.
No, you didn't get muted.
I thought you were
I was
muting
looking
me.
at my watch.
Oh, I thought you were hitting the mute button. I was like, oh, no. My criticism of the Rockies is too true.
No, it'll be nice to actually start making money again. Money will be nice.
Yeah. I'm getting paid for doing this now, so...
Oh, that's right. I will be too. I need my new FAFSA needs to go through, but then I'll be paid for it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You
you are...
needed to do a new FAFSA for that?
Well, you need it to clear for 2019-20.
Okay, well,
just
that's
because
when I
now,
did. Yeah.
because now it's officially the 2019-20 school year, technically speaking, because
Did
it's
you get it for summer?
yeah 1,500.
Okay, because I was going to say, because I didn't send one in last summer on accident, so I'm guessing since I submitted the new one, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got approved for 1,500 over the summer, and if I get the umpire supervisor job, I will have 3 jobs.
So you can pay for...
Yeah, pay for my car, pay for season tickets, and
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, season
It
tickets.
was really nice last year because when you have $6,000, even my mom said, because I would always, whenever I'd spend something, I'm just so used to getting that, "Oh, Trevor, you shouldn't have spent your money," and I'd spend and I'd tell my mom, like, "Oh, I bought something," she'd be like, "You worked for this. You have money. You are allowed to spend some of it." And it was just such a weird feeling for me.
Mm-hmm. So now we can have season tickets without worrying.
Yeah. I mean... And I knew I was going to get work study at least for the fall.
Yeah, that's
over the
what I was
summer.
gonna say. I
Over the
wasn't sure
summer is
about
a
the
nice
summer.
surprise because I'll be able to get 4 or 5 weeks over the summer. So,
Good to hear.
yeah.
How does that work? Do you just get a clump, or is it just tuition, or how's that work?
No, you get a check.
Oh, cool.
Because that's what.
Nah, because I didn't get it over the summer, because like I said, I didn't submit last year's FAFSA.
I mean, that's what my mom, or not my mom, I was talking to my grandparents about it, and they said that they always assumed that it was going to be taken away from tuition, but it's actually a check you can do with what you please.
That's pretty nice.
That's what I've heard, at least.
Okay.
Which I hope. I mean,
That'd be a lot easier on you.
well,
or
exactly.
everyone. I mean,
Well, I mean, especially me, just because
you have different
since-
means of spending it.
Well, since I don't pay directly for my tuition, like it's not coming out of my bank account, it would help my mom, and that'd be great, but I wouldn't be able to spend it and then pay for my car and stuff
Great
like that.
clapping gift. Good
Like I
job,
wouldn't be
school.
able, like let's say I get burnt out by Dix or it's not working over the school year, I couldn't just fall back on this.
Yeah. So there you go. We're letting you know about the future, how you can do stuff.
Yes, exactly. So it's about time to wrap up. We'll have 2 podcasts next week. One will be with my
Let's
good friend
chicken wrap this up.
Brendan Minchef. He'll be on to talk about really whatever. I'm sorry, there will be weather
Wait,
talk.
how do I know Brandon?
Because you've talked to him.
Is he on our softball team?
Brendan Minchef, the weather guy from here.
Oh, yeah, you said that. I keep thinking about your cousin.
Brandon.
Okay.
Yes, that'd
Yeah.
be Brandon.
Okay,
And then
cool.
next
Weather
Friday
guy, he
we
likes
might
the lightning, so
we
we
might
can expose
That's
him.
actually a good point. Weather guy likes the lightning. He actually went to the U.S. Open Cup last night for Minnesota United. They played New Mexico United, which is funny because they beat FC Dallas last round in Colorado Rapids
I
the
went to
round
the
before
Gold
that.
Cup. That's even better.
Yeah, Cuba, Martinique, and then Canada versus someone.
Mexico.
So it's about time to wrap this thing up. So yeah, like I said, that was a great outro. We'll have 2 shows next week,
Yeah, Wednesday and Friday.
Wednesday and Friday, to kind of
Yeah.
make up for the.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting my picture taken, Trevor.
I know.
Outside my window.
I know.
Let's go.
I know.
Almost heaven.
For Asher Hire, Jaden
West
Rioch,
Virginia.
I'm Trevor Blahnik. I'll see y'all next week.
Mountains.
How do you not know the song yet?
Because I usually parody it. The Gamecocks and the Buckeyes. This is so amazing. Oh, wait, one more picture. Take me home, Draymond Green. Grant's the best ever. So is Plumlee. I get to meet him again unless he's traded before the meet and greet. Go Forrest Grant.